protein. So I mentioned that most protein sources are going to be chicken, turkey, beef. For the most part, if it's highest in protein compared to carbs and fat, we're going to call it a protein source. Now, there are some foods like almonds, nuts that have protein in them, but they also have fat and sometimes a minute amount of carbs. So you can get protein also by combining a lot of different foods throughout the day that are rich in protein, like quinoa, that's going to help you, broccoli. So there's protein in a lot of these carbohydrates, and that protein will be a big benefit for you, right? So eating a significant or sufficient amount of protein can 100% help you burn fat. And I say that as well as keeping lean muscle tissue, because oftentimes I'll sit down with someone, and then sitting down with that person, I look at the way they're eating, and they may not be getting an adequate amount of protein. And keeping their calories and the structure of their life the same, but just bumping up the protein, we then start to see the weight loss. So protein really is your friend. And you don't have to be a meat lover to get an adequate amount of protein. Again, you can get protein from vegetables. Many carbohydrates bring with it a significant amount of protein. Just make sure that you're thinking about protein. And what I've learned is that when you're mindful of protein and making sure you're getting an adequate amount of it, people tend to get an adequate amount. And in one study that I want to mention here, it was noted that people who ate a higher amount of protein, like 1 gram per pound of body weight each day, right? They were able to burn more fat compared to people who ate a lower amount of protein. And when you look at the macronutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, we know, even though it's not significant difference, there is a difference that when you eat protein, your body burns more calories compared to when you eat carbohydrates or fat. So again, protein is awesome. And in no way am I saying to stop eating carbs. In no way am I saying don't eat fat. I'm not saying just eat protein. I'm just saying be mindful of protein, because it can be a major proponent to helping you optimize your ability to burn some body fat. Now, the recommendations is that when you look at food, there's a lot of food out there that's got a good amount of protein. You don't need a massive amount of protein. You don't have to be walking around drinking protein constantly in a shake. But what you want to do is just be mindful of it and make sure that you're getting an adequate amount. And you'll know when you're keeping a close eye on your body fat percentage, right? So Shape-A is designed to help you optimize. So when you get that color that tells you that you're making progress, then we're doing like a lot of the work for you, right? The messaging is there to support the fact that you're moving in the right direction. And the way you're eating and moving is being helpful in helping you be successful. So again, you don't need to avoid carbs. You don't need to avoid fats. We just want to balance. The action is that when you begin a meal, think about protein. Where's my protein? So if you sit down, let's say I was just having toast, then yeah, there's a little bit of protein in the bread, but I would ask myself, would I like some Canadian bacon, maybe a sausage patty, maybe a little tofu? Do I want to add some protein so that I know that I'm consuming a protein source? If that's the case, then you're mindful of it. And then you have your toast and it all works out great. And then if you're not sure, if you feel like you're getting a good amount of protein with your meals, then look at your snacks. Like if you had turkey jerky or beef jerky as a snack, that's a nice snack. If you had 2 boiled eggs, that's primarily protein, right? Eggs are a protein source. If you got an energy bar that was high in protein or had a good amount of protein, that would be a protein-rich snack. And those are the kind of things that can help you optimize your ability to lose weight just by upgrading your snacks to make sure they have an adequate amount of protein.